What's up, everybody? It's your man Danelle, aka Small Guy Promotions, aka the Omaha Fatty, coming with another podcast episode of What's Up Omaha. Yo, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Every day, we're in the season of thanks, so it's important to take a moment and just be appreciative and grateful for waking up today. I was thinking about it and I dropped the ball last year 2 times. I know one time was in August and I think one time was in April or so, where I did 30 days of grateful. And I was thinking about doing that this year, and I just kept putting it off and forgot. So I didn't do it this year, but I am still so grateful and thankful for everything that we have. And I'm thankful for waking up every day. I know life could be so much more of a struggle than it is, and we have it pretty good. So thankful for waking up and getting to just step out of bed every day. That's always a gift in itself. So, there's a lot of people who can't say that, unfortunately. So, but yeah, man, let's get into it. First thing that I want to touch on really quick is me being excited, super excited. So, I've been doing What's Up Omaha, and, Small Guy Promotions has been around for some years, and Omaha Fatty has been live and legit for 2 years, just over 2 years. And, a big part of Omaha Fatty is food photos, food content, of course. And sometimes people tell me that they love my photos and that they enjoy seeing them and they look so good. And I get that feedback sometimes, and I'm just like, really? Like, I don't think that, some of the photos that I take, I'm like, ooh, that's a good photo. But a lot of times I'm just like, it's pretty good. For me, it's good. But man, yeah, I see some photos like on Instagram or Twitter, and they stop me. They stop me in my tracks, and I scroll back or whatever if I passed it, and I take a look, and I'm like, oh man, look at those colors. Those colors is like vibrant and they pop. They're really eye-catching. So, my birthday was in September, and I had asked my wife, I said, hey, we don't usually do a lot of gifts for each other for birthdays and anniversaries and stuff. But I said, hey, if you were to get me anything for my birthday, a camera would be cool. And, I don't know anything about cameras, photography. Like, I'm not a photographer. I just like to eat and talk about it. But along with that, I want to make sure that I have photos that are up to par, that people can really take a look at it and be like, oh man, that's a good photo. So I wanted to step my game up a little bit for Omaha Fatty specifically. But then I was, she didn't get me a camera for my birthday at the time because there's a long list of different cameras and different options available in cameras, and she didn't know what I wanted. So I said, well, I definitely want something for the food stuff. It would also be nice to be able to go live or, take video. So we said, okay, kind of got an idea. She recently saw that RockBrook Camera, which is no longer in RockBrook. So don't get confused by the name. They're out there at Lakeside now, like 179th and Center. But yeah, she saw a deal that they had where if you bought a camera, you got a free class, to go over the camera and using it and whatnot. Because I would definitely need some classes and some education. Well, I also have a friend, partner in, a lot of things, jujitsu, business. He's a foodie as well. So shout out to Ryan Yamada. Used to always roll with him at 10th Planet. He's no longer at 10th Planet, but we're still friends. And I sent him a text because I know he's really good with photography. And I'm like, hey, man, like, this is what I'm thinking. I know a camera is only half the battle and you have to be able to edit and do different things. So I don't want to just go and buy a camera and think that that's going to solve all the issues that I think that I have, or it's not going to make my pictures just magically great. Like, there's work. That's why everybody can't be a photographer. Like, there's work that goes into it. And, I don't want to at all discredit people who are out there and put a ton of time into learning about photography. So I'm not trying to take your spot at all. I just want to take better pictures of my food, and I want to have um, more mobile functioning for the podcast sometimes. So right now, like, I'm recording on my computer, as I often do. I've got the mic set up, of course, but it's real plain Jane. It's nothing spectacular, but it gets the job done, right? But I really wanted to step up that game a little bit and get serious about things. So my wife knew. She had done some research to check and see the average prices for some of the cameras starting out, and $400 or $500. So we went out to RockBrook Camera, and they were out of a lot of their $400 or $500 cameras because a lot of people have been buying cameras recently. And this is one thing that's cool. They have used options. If you want to use camera, save a couple bucks, which I have no problem with. We almost did that. So Aaron is the gentleman who helped us. And again, Ryan is the one who referred me to speak with Aaron, and Aaron was really knowledgeable and helpful. I'm sure the other people were helpful as well, but I went, I'm like, hey, I called ahead and was like, hey, is Aaron working today? He was. So we got there and I asked for him, and he was helping another customer at the time. So we just waited around, but he was super great. Brought us out two cameras, two Sonys, and something that's actually comparable to what Ryan has, but on a lower scale. And Ryan was like, hey, he's helped me for years. He's a good guy. Go and see if he can help you. So he brought out two Sony cameras. The used one was pretty good, and we considered it, but the only thing was it didn't have any audio capabilities. So we would have had to have an external audio recording equipment or tool. And I would have had to sync the video and the audio together. And I'm like, it's 2021. I don't want to spend time doing that. I don't have a ton of time when I'm trying to get stuff together often. So I need to make it as easy as possible. And then, there were a couple of things. That camera did have a light on it. But overall, the selling point, we went with the new one, a Sony ZV E10. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The super selling point for me was the flip screen monitor, where I can go into selfie mode and I can actually do that live. So when I'm going live from my cell phone sometimes, or when I'm recording a video, if it's not live on social media, I can't flip the camera. So that's always been an inhibitor for me when I'm doing video. So I'll have to shoot one video, with the camera facing correctly, and then I'll have to stop it and then turn the camera around and record in selfie mode. So with this camera, I don't have to do that. And it actually has the audio. It has a microphone up here, which is really cool. And then it came with a little kind of like the boom mic type of deal. It's this little fluffy, it's for wind. Like when you're outside and it's windy and you're taking video and you don't want to pick up all that, you put it on top of here and it muffles all that wind. So your voice still comes through clearly. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to even pretend that I really know what's going on, but this thing is great, man. I like it. And I'm really, really happy about it. Really, really happy about it. Boom. There you go. So my wife, my wife enjoys it as well. And we said that we can use this, my oldest daughter wrestles, so we can use this for some photos, maybe get another lens to get some more detailed zoomed in shots if we need. But yeah, so not only can I use it for the stuff for my businesses, but we can use it for family things as well. That's what's really cool about it. Um, I can use it as a webcam. I can hook it up to the computer and I can still record this way, but have that quality of visual for the podcast. I didn't want to use it now just because I still got to learn about it a little bit. And I figured, you know, there's no rush in using that, but it's just something that I wanted to work on. So shout out to Ryan Yamada. Shout out to RockBrook Camera. Like, thank you, Aaron, for all the help that you gave us. And I'm super happy with this purchase. We spent a little more than we wanted to, but it was quite an investment. And when it's for business, I mean, when it's for something that I'm passionate about and I care about and I really want to change, I'm going to do that. And then I hope to maybe take some other classes out there at RockBrook, which they offer, so I can check out the lighting and whatnot, just to make sure that I'm putting out quality content. Yeah, man. So, and switching speeds a little bit, while we were out there, my friends over at American Shaman, we've had them, Jennifer Carbonell, we've had her on the podcast a couple of times. So I had to stop out and support and go and get some CBD gummies. There you go. Some 300 milligram CBD gummies. With me doing jujitsu and stuff, the aches and pains and stuff, and they occur from time to time, and these are really supposed to help with relaxing and recovery, and resting well, if you have trouble sleeping. So from time to time I'll go and get some CBD. But yeah, shout out to those guys. Garrett was working when I went. Garrett and Jennifer are married and they're business owners, which is great. They participated in some of the small guy promotion vendor events. So shout out to those guys, man. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. Omaha Fatty is coming along. Yum Omaha and Saturday Omaha, we will be having our first dinner here this week, and we will be blessing someone with a nice tip after our meal. So please make sure to follow Food on Facebook. The name of the group, I mentioned them before, is Foodies of Omaha Donate. The acronym is Food. The goal, again, if you didn't see the previous episodes when I mentioned it, the goal of us coming together, we just want to be a food superpower and bless some people for the holidays who are in the restaurant industry, the service industry. We want to be able to just go out and leave a sizable tip. So what we're doing is we're asking all of our followers to donate $1 to our PayPal account, and 100% of the donations go to us giving the tips. We pay for our meal out of our own pockets, but we pay for the extra tip. We're still going to tip our normal tip, and then we're going to put an extra tip on top of that for the service that we receive. So we're hoping that we can make a good impact, a big impact with that. So please follow Food. We'll make sure to share the content about the places that we go, and it's all going to be random. We're going to use a randomizer to select the location from a spreadsheet, and that's how we determine where we go. And again, we just ask that, if you're following and support us and you support the local food industry, if you have $1, you can donate it through PayPal. An important thing about donating through PayPal, we're not providing a service. So if you do decide to do it, please make sure to donate it as like sending a friend money, because they hold it if it's a business thing, and it's not a business thing. So please don't select business thing or service. Please select friend. and we will do that, and we will hopefully make a lot of people, or help a lot of people smile this holiday season. And if we have a big enough experience, if we leave a big enough footprint, maybe we'll be able to do it more in the future. But yeah, we just really want to help some people smile for the holidays, and bless some people. So we can only do that with your help. You know, I donated myself out of my account, and I know Dave and Nat from Saturday and Yum, they also donated. So you know, we're not asking you to do anything that we wouldn't do. But yeah, if you want to do $1 or more, of course you can. But again, it's Foodies of Omaha donate food. So shout out to my counterparts, Yum Omaha and Saturday Omaha. Also, real quick, please make sure to check out those guys on social, Instagram and Facebook. That's where they're most prominent. Dave over at Saturday Omaha just had a really cool announcement. He's over with KMTV, I believe. Is it KMTV? I think it's KMTV, or 3 News Now is what they go by. But he had like a cheap eats spot that came out on Friday, and they were at WD Cravings. So shout out again to David and Saturday for everything that he's doing, that they're doing collectively. There's 3 people on Saturday Omaha, but they continue to grind as well. And I tip my hat to those guys for doing what they do, and they've done it for a long time. And it's great to see. I love to see their success. I'm happy for those guys. And yeah, man, it's just cool to see us having our own little lanes, and growing, and trying to come together and work together, and just different opportunities popping up. You know, I've talked about it in the past. If we continue to put it out in the universe, and we work hard, and we stay consistent, and we grind, things will start to happen. And you can see that with Yum Omaha. You can see that with Saturday Omaha. People enjoy the stuff that we do. Omaha Fatty. I've had people recently telling me that it's an aspect of food reviews and food blogging that I didn't consider before. But I've had a lot of people. I mean, as you know, we're in Nebraska, we're in Bellevue, Papillion. There's a lot of military people. We get a lot of people who move here who are looking for places to eat, and they're not sure where to eat. So they find Saturday Omaha, Yum Omaha, Omaha Fatty. There's other people too, barbecue tourists. You know, there's a lot of people out there doing food blogging. It's not just us, and everybody has their own little following in their own little lane, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, it resonates with people who are not from the area, and they're looking for something to eat, and they go out and they Google food in Omaha or whatever it is that they Google, and people like Omaha Fatty pop up. And that's a really cool thing. It's something that I didn't even think about when we started this. The whole goal was just to support local and talk about the good food around town. So man, shout out to all you guys who follow, and you found Omaha Fatty because you were new to the area and you were looking for a place to eat. Shout out to you guys, man. I thank you guys so much for your support, and I'm going to try to keep things coming out. I know this coming week we'll have a new review that will be coming out. The last review was 2 weeks ago, and it was Sugar Makery over in Council Bluffs and in Glenwood, Iowa. If you haven't checked that out on the website, please check that out. Just www.omahafatty.com. omahafatty.com. But yeah, if you go to the website, you can actually sign up for the newsletter, and you can get those new reviews in your inbox on Wednesdays when they're available. If you don't sign up for the newsletter, I still make sure to share it on social media so it's out there that way. But yeah, this coming week we'll have another exciting review. So please make sure to check that out. Man, the last thing I just want to touch on is the cold. It's cold, y'all. It's starting to get cold. The leaves are changing and they're falling on the ground. You know, it's dropped down to freezing We've had a couple of frost overnight, not Scott Frost, uh, but we've definitely had a couple of frost warnings and alerts over the last few or couple of weeks. It's changing. You know, daylight savings came. We had to do all that. Set your clocks. It's getting dark now, so that's what's tough now. Is I'm finding for myself, since I still work from home, not wanting to, like, when I'm done with work and it starts to get dark out, I don't want to go outside because it's dark and it's chilly, and I'm just not looking forward to going outside. So that makes it a struggle for going to jujitsu, because I'm like, oh man, I just really don't feel like going outside. But I gotta do it. I gotta be disciplined, and I gotta go to class. You know, 5, 6, 7 times a week. Lately, I've only been taking Mondays off, and I go every other day of the week just because I need it. So yeah, that's what's up with that. I don't want to go too much longer, man. I could talk more, but you know, there's always room for another podcast. If you're checking out the podcast, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys for listening. Um, I appreciate you for watching. I'm sorry. One last thing, real quick. Something else that's really cool. So I do my podcast. I loaded up to YouTube, and I also loaded up to Anchor. Anchor is a podcasting platform. They got bought and they merged with Spotify. Well, recently they have now made it available for video podcasts to be uploaded so people can watch on Spotify. So now people can watch this. I'm going to load this up. I'm going to try to do it today, load it up, and hopefully that comes out well and people can see. I don't know if people prefer audio or visual, but they'll have the option of, going to any of those other platforms that the podcast is on, because it's everywhere you're taking streaming in. You can find the What's Up Omaha podcast, but now I have the visuals on Spotify as well as the audio. So that's pretty cool. Thank you guys for supporting. I appreciate it so much. Please, please subscribe wherever you're listening or tuning in. Please subscribe to the podcast and check out what we got going on, man. I feel like we have a lot of good podcasts. Sometimes it's just me sitting here speaking as I am now, but we often have guests, and it's very interesting to listen to. The last guest was Jim Stapleton from First Impression Signs and Graphics. If you didn't check out that podcast, make sure to do it. I think that's been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. But make sure to check out that podcast. I thank you guys so much for supporting, man. Again, please subscribe. And with that, that's all we got, baby. Shout out to 402 Barbecue. Yeah, I've been rocking with them for years. I decided to put on the t-shirt today. If you guys notice, sometimes I like throwing on gear of local restaurants that I have or local businesses. So that's what it is, man. Smile, help someone else smile. Laugh and help someone else laugh all day, every day. Shout out to RockBrook Camera. Shout out to Ryan Yamada. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Fatter Day Omaha. Shout out to Yum Omaha. That's what it is. Yeah. Subscribe, y'all. Yeah.